It is December 27th, 2021. I'm Andy, and this is a Minorcan Mullet Report from the Port of Brunswick today. So we decided to go back over to Brunswick and take a look and kind of see what was going on over there. Mars Group continues to work on Section 4. They're getting awful close to having this portion of the project wound up. And as we kind of have the drone here over the site where they are putting Section 4 in these disassembled pieces onto the barge that will transport these pieces over to Louisiana for further processing. You see how they stacked it. It's almost like they're playing a game of Tetris, moving these pieces and maximizing the deck space and getting the barge loaded properly so the weight's dispersed where it needs to be. And they're really moving ahead. You see there's not very much of Section 4 remaining. And they're continuing to cut and get that thing taken care of. Now, yesterday we saw the video of the Pacific Dawn coming in with the Marmac 20. Well, there it is. Both the Pacific Dawn and the Marmac 20 barge, along with another couple barges that we've seen and we may be familiar with. Looks like they're in the staging area, and what we think these pieces are going to be used for is the piling removal out at the wreck site when that commences. Now, kind of a look over the waterfront, we see the Mars Titan tied up alongside the pier. Then a couple other familiar vessels and barges we've seen. And in particular, when we get around here to the tug American, which is laying alongside the berth here, it looks like they have been working on getting this barge loaded. And it's got some familiar items on it. Right away, we could make out the large claw, that big yellow claw that was used out of the site to pick up those big pieces of debris, along with the spreader bars that were used with the VB 10,000 to support the ship sections. There seems to be some containers on here, some large bumpers, and then a couple other just nits and pieces, some cable, some blocks. And we kind of took a look at this and just kind of see this is just some of the stuff that was necessary for the job, and it's being loaded up. I would think this stuff is probably going to be bound for Texas very soon. In addition to the bumpers, we could see some of the mooring balls and mooring cans that we saw out at the site, where the anchor lines and then some of the barges may have been attached to these mooring cans at some point. But a good look at what's on the barge and being prepared for departure. Now here we can see those pieces of floating pipe. This is made up part of that environmental barrier system that kind of encircled the wreck site. They're on an old dry dock system along with some scrap. And when we're kind of looking through the scrap, and one of our members of the Minorcan Navy kind of pointed out, it looks like there's a truss system in here that may have at one time been part of a crane. I don't know if what exactly the story is with that, but we can kind of see it laying in there, and it looks like that may have been maybe possibly something that was lost during the process early on. And in addition to this small amount of scrap we see here, I shouldn't say small amount because this stuff is huge. See a good bit of anchor chain. Possibly some of that was used for cutting chain aboard the VB-10,000 when the Golden Ray was cut into sections. And so while we're out, we caught these guys. They were doing a little fishing here in the East River. So we thought we'd get a little drone footage of that. We're going to check on these guys in just a bit. But while we're here, we thought we'd fly over the Brunswick Landing Marina. This is the big marina in the Port of Brunswick, where the recreational vessels, pleasure craft, moor. And we thought you guys might enjoy just a little look at this. So we're going to fly over and take a look at some of the vessels here at the Brunswick Landing Marina. as we came back around and we checked out our fishermen again, and look, on the end of the rod, looks like the guy's caught a fish. Looks to us like it's one of those flatfish, a flounder. So you know that makes some happy fishermen. I'm sure they were excited to catch this, but as we kind of see how them handling the fish, it looks like they're going to measure it to check it for legal length. Looks like they find it's a little short, and then back into the water it goes. And with a quick splash, there it goes. Well, hey, that's going to do it for the report today. We hope you enjoyed it. We're going to ask that if you haven't done it yet, you'll click on that subscribe link, share the video, send us some comments. Most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.